what is happening here is I'm getting ready to move into a new house, and we are purging and trying to take as little with us as possible. But this means I am purging about, this is 2 of these. I've got probably the equivalent of 2 or 3 more of these units in my office here, full of every guidance document, every piece of memorabilia from my career. And so a couple of things are happening. First off, these 3 trash bags represent years and years worth of guidance documents and standards that I finally decided to let go of and purge. These treasured 3 to 4 plastic containers are the only ones that made the cut to go with me to the new house. So as part of all this, you know, I've come across the history of Michelle's career. And this isn't exactly where it first started, but this is where some of my first biggest accomplishments started. These are pictures of some of the first FDA audits I managed, but boy, was it a big one. This reflects my resolution of a 6-year-old warning letter and import alert in one of the facilities that my company had. I didn't know they had it at the time. When I got the job, it was when I got a promotion 4 months later that they said, oh, hey, guess what? We're going to make you the regulatory affairs manager. And oh, by the way, we have a 6-year-old warning letter and import alert in the Mexico facility. That was fun. But we got it closed up. It took a lot of campaigning on my part and negotiating with the FDA, but we got it done, and it was a great learning experience for me. And funny enough, I was just doing the math of how old I was when I did that, and I am the same age as Ty, employee number 1, when I did it. Fortunately for her, she's not going to have to learn that hard way. Yeah. She can learn vicariously.
Yeah, I get to take the shortcut. I don't have to learn that by just being plopped in front of it. It's a little intimidating dealing with the FDA auditors. Mm-hmm. Want a 6-year warning letter.
Also, at that same job, I found my first notified body that I worked with. I found an audit report where I'd also cleaned up a massive history where the company did not have technical files. They had just been showing the auditors 510Ks, and they got written up. By the way, if you don't know the difference between a technical file and a 510K, you should give me a call. But the audit report, after we cleaned all that up, says the detailed audit records and findings shows very clear that the auditor, the management representative, that was me, is very experienced. And then we have another audit report from a customer supplier audit that says new staff, Michelle, the RA manager, has added a great deal to this firm, and their positive impact is being noticed. So again, this place was a hot mess. So to get this kind of praise and this kind of resolution out of major regulatory issues definitely was scrapbook worthy moments.
Also, you know, I started at startups, and this kind of stuff really matters to your employees. Like, look at Michelle. Years later, she still keeps it. I still have a file from my very first job of all the affirmations I got. You should, you know, make sure you give your RAQA people a little bit of love. Sometimes we don't get it.
It's few and far between, and it's not why we have to keep every piece we get. I want to fast forward to my love. This is a good one. At my job after that, the company did a survey of all of its customers, and somebody responded, quality management, they have recruited someone new, very good. And that was one of the most positive comments on the assessment of the entire company. Then we fast forward here, and let's see. I have where the first customer sent me a bottle of wine. I have where my buddy Francisco on LinkedIn sent me a bottle of wine just to thank me for my educational initiatives. All kinds of good stuff in here. But then it started getting fun, just going down memory lane and things that date me, like my fundamentals of U.S. regulatory affairs. This is the 6th edition. And Ty, when we look this up, what are we up to?
We're up to 11.
11. Dates me just a hair. But that led to this. This is my regulatory affairs certification from RAPS. And I took it so long ago. It was when there was only one type of RAPS certification. So I had to take this for medical device, pharmaceutical, and biologics all at one time. So talk about variation in scope from now. Now you get to take a separate test for all 3 and a separate test for each geography.
Yeah, you certainly don't take it like that anymore. It's much more specific.
It was much harder then.
Yep.
Because of the scope. So that brings us to an article in MDT, Medical Design Technology, which is the first time I was published. And it has my lovely picture. Apparently had reddish hair then, which explains my mom's comment when I sent them this magazine, thinking it was like, new adult kid refrigerator material. And I said, Mom, what'd you think of my article? And she said, I didn't like your hair. But that, now looking back, like, it offended me at the time, but looking back, it was a fair statement. It was fair assessment. So sorry, Mom, that offended me for a while. Then I found this little gem. Look, this was my original logo that I made up myself off of the idea of, does your quality management system need to lose weight? But then I started getting feedback that people thought I was selling weight management products. So anyways, that turned out to be a little bit of a mess. I was proud of it though. But I found this is I called it a customer orientation packet. I still can't remember to this day who I created this for. But in it, we have a little older Michelle. I thought this was a great picture, but it's the first thing that Joe Hage from Medical Device Group made me get rid of on my profile. And then we have what became the platform for my website, my fundamental core services and what they mean to me and how I'm different. We've got regulatory strategy, regulatory submissions, quality systems and compliance, regulatory due diligence, product pathway assessments, and technical support. Then we have what has become the backbone of my business now, and where I start nearly every single project, the regulatory pathway assessment. This is where we map out all of the regulatory requirements for whatever geographies you're going into and tell you exactly what the FDA is going to expect to see from your product in terms of testing, submission types, timelines, budget. I know this one's near and dear to your heart now.
That one is?
Mm-hmm. Then QMS activities for specification developers. Again, most of my clients are startups and small business with contract manufacturers. And I was finding time and time again that they thought that they did not have any quality management system responsibilities. So I even named it TAG. Are you it or are you not it? and I go through warning letters that FDA had given to specification developers. I walk through the QMS, the requirements, the quality system regulation, like section by section, and can you outsource it or not? And then it ends in something else that is still a fundamental part of my business to this day. The quality management system needs worksheet. The QMS needs worksheet. So for every client, I go line by line in the quality system requirements, and then I check mark who in that relationship is responsible for what, and I tailor quality management systems that way.
I think it's amazing that even after doing this for 12 years, and regulations change all the time. They are published dozens of times. The process still stays true to itself. You don't get lost in the weeds. You give clients a good experience of what they need up front. And it's just so funny to think about this nice printed booklet, like giving it to people, and they're probably just like, oh no, what did I get into? Mm-hmm. And it's medical devices. You got into medical devices. Welcome to this playing field.
Yeah, you got to pay to play. Business cards, you guys probably can't see that. Old logo, new logo, marketing materials before I got Joe. Oh, it's so cute. It's a hot mess.
Everyone's got to start somewhere, though.
Yeah. Look, I went to a conference in Miami that had a lot of Spanish companies or companies from Latin America, let me say that. And so I had my consulting services portfolio on the front in English, and I Google translated it, sorry, Peter from Argo, into Spanish on the back. There's a joke. I got no business from that for obvious reasons. Anyhow, I think, did you see anything else fun in my piles that we should talk about here?
I just think it's great. I've known you for 6 years and you've been doing this a long time. And it's fun for me to see how it's changed even then, but to go back and look at all this hard work up front. It's too much fun. Mm-hmm. It's good stuff.
And here we are now. I'm with Ty. Ty's with me. She was my customer 6 years ago. And now she's employee number 1. Yeah, and here's another fun one. Thank you, Joe Hage. This is where I spoke at MDG in London. One of the last things we did before Corona. So thanks for the opportunities, Joe. Thanks for the branding. Thanks for the faith in me.
I think